The Enchanted Wood by Enid Blyton. Chapter 17. An Invitation from Moonface and Silky. Nobody had really enjoyed their visit to the Rocking Land, which had been a mistake anyhow. They sat in Moonface's house, untying their cushions from their backs and fronts and looking at all the bruises they'd got. "Oh, what should we do with these cushions?" asked Beth. "Well, maybe Moonface could do with them, I expect," said Franny. "He uses such a lot of them for his slippery slip, don't you, Moonface?" "Oh, yes, they do very well," said Moonface. His big face beamed joyfully. "Some of mine are getting very old and worn. We can't possibly give them back to that cross old woman in the Rocking Land, so, well, we might as well put them to use here." "Right," said Joe, and he handed Moonface his 2 cushions. Everyone else did the same. Moonface was very pleased. He poured lemonade for everyone and then handed round a little box full of what looked like all sorts of toffee. "I don't feel as if I ever want to see what land is at the top of the Faraway Tree again," said Joe as he munched a rather peculiar piece of toffee, which seemed to get bigger in his mouth instead of smaller. "Neither do I," said Beth. "I certainly never will," said Franny. "It seems as if there are never any lands there worth visiting, and they're all most uncomfortable." "Oh, except my little land," said Saucepan Man rather mournfully. "I was always very comfortable there." Joe's toffee was now so big that he could not say a word. And then, suddenly, it exploded in his mouth, went to nothing, and left him feeling most astonished. "Oh, dear, did you take a toffee shock?" said Moonface, noticing Joe's surprised face. "I'm so sorry. Take a different one." "Oh, no, thank you," said Joe, feeling that 1 toffee shock was quite enough. "Anyway, I think we'd really better get going. It must be getting late." "Oh, what's going to happen to the old Saucepan Man now that he's lost his land?" asked Beth, picking up a yellow cushion ready to slide down the tree. "Oh, he'll live with Mr. What's-his-name," said Moonface. "Hello? Oh, look, he's taken a toffee shock by mistake. Oh, do watch him." They all watched. The Saucepan Man's toffee shock had got enormous and was about to explode. Pooh, it did. And it went back to nothing again in his mouth. The Saucepan Man blinked his eyes and looked so astonished that everyone shouted with laughter. "Oh, that was a toffee shock you were eating," said Moonface. "A coffee clock?" said Saucepan Man, even more surprised. "Dear me." "Oh, come on," said Beth, giggling. "It's time we went. Look, we'll see you another day, Moonface. Goodbye, Saucepan Man." She shot off down the slide, round and out of the trapdoor at the bottom. Then Franny slid off, and then Joe. "Goodbye," he called. "Goodbye." Mother was astonished to see their bruises. "Whatever have you been doing?" she said. "I shan't let you play with the Saucepan Man again if you come home like this. Oh, look, and how dirty your clothes are." Joe longed to tell Mother about the Rocking Land and their adventure there, but he felt sure she would think he was making it all up. So he decided to say nothing and instead went off to change his dirty clothes. Things did not go very well the next week. Father lost some money one night, and Mother could not get very much washing to do, so money was very scarce. The children did not have as much to eat as they would have liked. "Oh, if only we could have a few hens," sighed Mother. "Oh, they would at least give us eggs to eat, and a little goat would give us milk." "What I want is a new garden shovel," said Father. "Mine broke yesterday, and I can't get on with the garden. It's very important that we should grow as many vegetables as possible because, well, we simply cannot afford to buy them." To To make things worse, their father was very cross with them for having spoilt their clothes the day that they'd gone off with the Saucepan Man. "If that's the way you treat the only nice clothes you have, you will just have to stay at home and not go out at all," he scolded. The children did not like being scolded, and Beth mended their clothes as nicely as she could. 2 weeks went by, and the children did not even have 2 hours to themselves to go and see Moonface. "He'll be wondering what's happened to us," said Franny. Well, in the Faraway Tree, Moonface certainly was wondering. He'd waited each day and each night to see the children, and he and Silky wondered what was the matter.
"We'll send the barn owl with a note to tell the children to come quickly," said Silky at last.
So she slipped down the Faraway Tree to the hole where the barn owl lived. She knocked at his door. He pecked it open. "Oh, what is it?" he asked in a hoarse voice.
"Oh, Barney dear, will you take this note to the children at that little cottage over by the wood?"
asked Silky in her sweetest voice.
You're going out hunting tonight, aren't you?"
"Oh, yes," said the barn owl, and he took the note in one of his great clawed feet. "I'll take it." He slammed the door shut behind him and rose into the air on great creamy wings, as silent as the wind. He flew to the children's cottage. They were in bed, fast asleep. Barney sat on the window outside and screeched loudly. The children awoke with a jump. "Whatever's that?" Joe came into the room. "Did you hear that?" he asked. "Whatever could it be?" The barn owl screeched again. He certainly had a dreadful voice. The children jumped. Joe bravely went to the window and looked out. "Is anyone being hurt?" he called. "Me! Me!" screeched the owl again. And Joe nearly fell out of the window with fright. The barn owl spread his great soft wings and flew to Joe. He dropped the note onto the windowsill, screeched again, and flew off into the night to look for mice and rats. "It was a barn owl," said Joe. "It left a note. Quick, turn on your bedside lamp. Let's see what the letter says." They turned on the lamp and crowded round the note. This is what it said. "Dear Joe, Beth and Franny, why don't you come to see us? Are you upset? Please come soon, because there is a wonderful land at the top of the tree now. It is the land of take what you want. If you want anything, you can usually get it there for nothing. Do come and we'll all go together. Love from Moonface and Silky."
"Oh," said Franny, "the land of take what you want? Oh, well, I'd really like to get a few hens."
And I'd like to get a goat," said Beth. "And I would like to get a new shovel for father," said Joe. But then he frowned. "I'd quite made up my mind not to go to any more of those strange lands," he said. "You just never know what might happen there. I don't know. Perhaps we'd better not go." "Oh, Joe," cried Beth, "please let's go. After all, there is a nice land. Well, if there is, and it says there is, well, then we might as well visit it." "Shh, you'll wake up Mother," said Joe. "We'll see what happens tomorrow. If we can get some time to ourselves, we'll go and ask Moonface if the land is really safe to go to. But now, come on, we better go to bed and get to sleep." But guess what? Have you ever been so excited that you couldn't get to sleep? Well, this is the problem that the children had. They didn't sleep very much. No. They were all wondering what the land of take what you want was like, and if they were really going to visit tomorrow. And that is the end of chapter 17. So, do you think they'll manage to get some time out of the house to go and visit Moonface and Silky? And if they do, what do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to go to the land at the top of the tree, or do you think Joe will decide he really shouldn't go? Would you go and visit another land? Especially if it was called the land of Take What You Want. And if you did go to the land of Take What You Want, what would you really wish for? What would you love to find in the land of Take What You Want? Well, we'll find out what happens to the children tomorrow. Bye-bye.